So I'm going to do the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. Chantel reads all day. And oh my goodness, I've never analyzed my bookshelf so much in my entire life. First prompt for January is the title, like a or the in the title. So I picked The Fifth Wave. It's about a post-apocalyptic place where people are slowly dying off from this, like different things. I mean, what's happening is this girl, brother, that develop a very, like, they already have this very special bond, but like throughout the story you see them just flourish, and she does everything in her power to like save him. And the other thing she does is that she just fights for him, but she's only, I think she's 15 or 16 in this book. A survival of the fittest and type of kind of vibe, but it's dystopian. And there's also, it's a trilogy, but this one was actually turned into an adaptation. And I kind of like how the chapters have, like, it splits in the page, because you don't have to read like a full page to actually do a whole chapter, you know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, that's January. So February's is to have a complementary color to the spine or the cover. I picked yellow with this because the spine is black and like white, so that doesn't, I don't know, yellow, I think like the goldy yellow. So for me, that looked like, this is kind of like the yellowy color. I don't know, I tried. And it's kind of like a purpley blue. So I chose this book, which is called Graduation Day. And this book is part of the testing day trilogy, sorry. And this is the last book in the trilogy. And it's kind of like Hunger Games meets. Okay, so that is February. And March, what is going to be wrong? The title has to start with the next letter of the alphabet from your February. So graduation is G, so H. So I picked Heidi. Heidi, sorry, this book is, I don't know, probably from like a little free library, I think, or something. I haven't read it in a long time, so I'm excited to read it. April's prompt is, April is going to be pretty simple. Just read a book that is in a different genre than the March book. Okay, so my March book is Heidi, and it's historical fiction, middle grade, and classic. So for April I picked The Crown's Game, and it is fantasy. So yeah, that's why I picked it, and an adult. And I wanted to read it for a long time. I just haven't picked it up. So this is what it looks like. And it's about Ken summit the snow and turn ash into gold. Inoki can see through walls and conjure bridges out of thin air. They are enchanters, the only two in Russia. So May. This month we will just be reading a book that is longer than our last one. The Crown's Game has 399 pages. Okay, so then I picked Blackout. I'm picking a lot of books with yellow and black in them. Like, not the titles, but the actual cover itself. So this book has 426 pages in it. And so this book is about our deathly attacks are sweeping across the country. Alec and Laura are at the center of the violence. While in a small remote town, Aubrey and Jack feel sheltered.
But these four seamlessly normal teenagers are about to find their lives connected in ways they can never have imagined. And one wrong step could trigger an explosion that ends it all.
Oh my goodness. So I'm excited to read that. And then the next prompt, that's for May. Okay, so June. The title for June will have to have half as many for letters as your May title. Oh my heavens, this took me forever to figure out because I literally had no books because this had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8 characters. And funny, so I found Hoot talks about how they want to like keep these special owls alive. It's set in Florida, and that they don't want to kill off these animals. And this one misfit kid, if you will, makes sure like everything in his power, uses snakes, uses everything to ward off these people that want to take away from these owls' land. And I think, yeah, I love animals and saving animals, so I want to reread it. So July. This book needs to be set in a different country or world than June. So that one was set in Florida, and then the world, this one, is dystopian, and it's set in space. So that's a definitely different world, and it's called End of Days by Eric Walters. It's about like kind of like a doomsday type thing, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm quite excited actually. It's dystopian, and so that's July. August. Just going to read a book from the same genre as July. Okay, so dystopian. So I picked the Ballad Song of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. So I have read this book before, but I haven't read it since it came out, like in 2020. And also, they're making the movie in, it said it's coming out November 17th, 2023. So I can refresh my brain. It'll give me a few months to process everything because I'm obsessed with the Hunger Games. The not so capitalized we have in the Hunger Games, but just a raw version of that. And I remember that just being very prevalent. And I really like Lucy's character, which is like the District 12 tribute for the Hunger Games, and Snow, which is he is 18 in this book, and Snow is obviously President Snow. He is a mentor for Lucy, and yeah, so it goes into that. It doesn't. Suzanne Collins doesn't paint a very good. Still doesn't paint a good picture of him. He is. It's just understanding why he is the way he is in the Hunger Games. So the next one was the hardest for me, honestly, and that was, so in September you were going to turn to page 50 in the August book, so in this book, and oh man, this was so tricky. Okay, so I found the word children right there. Children. Okay, so I found children. Oh my heavens, it took me forever to figure it out. So I went to read. So I already have read this trilogy, but I want to reread it. It's actually the first book, and which is good because then it makes me happy. So I've already read this series when it came out in 2016, and I want to read them. And the covers, they're so nice. Like they're all different, but they're all kind of like these colors. And so Joey Garcia, he is a YouTuber, and he's pretty well known. Like there we go. Now it's focusing. I know how to focus. Great. He world develops so fast because this book is not even that long. It's like 270 pages, and he just gets you to really understand the world. And the world is so futuristic and it's dystopian. What would you do to survive if your very existence were illegal? Rowan is a second child in a world where population control measures make her an outlaw, marked for death. She can never go to school, make friends, or get the eye implants that will mark her as a true member of Eden. Rowan just being, remember her describing like her setting, and it was her, she couldn't even see outside of the walls of her house because how high they had the walls of her not being able to see like the technology and just the world itself, and then spoiler, but she escapes and then a whole bunch of things happen. It's really good. Then that one's for September, and then October our book will start with the first letter of the author's last name from our September book. So this is also very, I don't know, hard for me. I don't have a lot of G books, so G. So I picked Max Lucado Grace, and I have read it a long time ago, but it's just like a, you know, not self-help book, but like a Christian book, not like non-fiction. So we talk as though we understand the term. The bank gives us grace, a grace period. The seedy political falls from grace. Musicians speak of a grace note. So just different things about grace. Do you believe in grace? And yeah, just giving people grace. So I've read it before, but I'm gonna read it again. Okay, so November is choose a book from a different time period from your October book. So since this is a book, but more of a just like a Christian book, so I just went on the publishing date. So this is 2012, and then I just picked a different time period from 2012. Went historical fiction because I was like, that is a different time period. So this book is Skating with Statue of Liberty. So it is set in February 1942. There's a 12-year-old girl. She's Jewish. A boy that has made it to America after escaping with his family from Nazis occupied France. After traveling through Spain and Portugal and across the Atlantic Ocean, he no longer has to worry about being captured by the Germans. So I know what the next prompt is. So this book is 304 pages. 304 long. It is not that long, but just like a standardized. There's any illustrations, no, because it's like middle grade like historical fiction. Okay, so this was so hard to find. So this is the December one, and it's in between 20 pages, so like up or down 20 pages. So this was 302, right? So I found a book that was 316. Okay, it was close enough. Cause yeah, it's so hard to find it. So I found All the Rage by Courtney Summers, and I've read so many books by her. Sadie is amazing too. So this book is when Roni and Kenny goes missing after a party, and news of him assaulting another girl in town close by gets out. Roni must decide whether she wants to fight or carry the burden of knowing more girls could get hurt if she doesn't speak up. Nobody believes her the first time, and they certainly won't now, but the cost of her silence might be more than she can bear. So these are all the books I want to read for my Read Your Bookshelves challenge for Chantel Reads All Day. And I'm very excited to be a part of this. So thank you, Chantel, for putting this out again this year in 2023. Thank you. Bye.